He'll try and start this drive in the air. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Open space inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Looking to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw here. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big third down play there for the Jags. 45 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Malik Collins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Open man right side is Shark. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
A give. This is Cook. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Gun! 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 Gun!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. They run the counter with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Vikings on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Everson Griffin in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and goal. Third and goal. Here's the option left. He can run for it, and he will. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And McManus able to put it through, and they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
He'll look to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime report. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop the throw. The hitter here is complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sideline.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is up to 8. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now here's another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Taylor will throw. The open man is Westbrook. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Dancing to his left. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Dumps it off to Fournette. Oh, look at the strength.
No.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal.
Slow.
From the gun, it's Taylor. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. Oh, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about, assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Lucky 56.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Watch it now, Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z. And see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now it's the backup Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Set! 319! 319! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw now on first down. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And all the way down to the 37. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey! Ready! 319!
Taylor going to run the option right. Gets around him. And he's got some space here. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they'll indeed take a knee. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it.